G'day everybody, it's Max and welcome to InfraSpace Cube. That's right. And as you can see on the right hand side, the pipes update released. It has just come out a short time ago and it was really late. It was really late coming out. Usually from the European side of things, when they release patches on Steam, they usually come out between 2 and 4 p.m. So like most other games, like I said, they'll drop and I usually pick them up as soon as I get home, and then I'm good to go. This one didn't show up until about, well, it was almost 8 o'clock my time. Like they must have been working. Like they were releasing this thing at like 11:45 at night over there. It must have been intense. So we have got the patch. It is installed. It's ready to go. What do we plan to do with the series? Well, of course, we're going to be playing with the new pipes, playing with the new water, oxygen, and methane gas. Of course, we got a whole new spaceship to work on, all the cool things. And of course, I only have a little time left of this day. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of do... we'll get through the research to get the research caught up, and we'll do a review of the items. And then, of course, starting with the next video is where we'll actually start working on our first cube and actually seeing how all the pieces work together. So with that, let's get into the game. Let's get started on InfraSpace Cube. And welcome to the cube. That's right. And in this case, we are down on the planet in Area 1. And here is our spaceship, Antares. And it is busted. It is so broken. Everything is broken on this thing. It doesn't look pretty, dude. It doesn't look pretty. So if we check the Antares checklist, it's not good. The bridge needs things. The communication array needs things. And everything I click here highlights on the ship, which is actually really cool. The computer deck needs things. We need all kinds of things. But when you click on something, it tells you what it needs. It says, hey, I need you to find me a holo display and a computer to make this module to fix this thing. Each thing up here is always a module, but to fix that module, you need to put in the right parts. So to fix the bridge, we need to put in one holo display, one computer to make a module, and it wants 100 of these. So basically, I'd have to make 100 holo displays and 100 computers and ship them in, good to go, right? Under communications array, obviously, we need one microchip, 3 electronics, and 8 aluminum ore to make this package. And it wants 200 of these packages, so that's 200 microchips, 600 electronics, and 1,600 aluminum ore to get this part fixed and running. Of course, what do we do with repair? I will talk about that in a bit. But in this case, we could go through the list. You know what's funny? They've got the passenger deck where they have home appliances and computers, but they've got steel. Why wouldn't they ask for VR edumatation? Like, why wouldn't they ask for the VR stuff? I mean, it's the passenger deck. What do they want steel for? I would think they'd want VR education, right? They'd want the VR edumatainment, all that stuff. But that's not in here anywhere. I checked all over the place. One of the new things they want, though, is they want methane gas. That's right. You want them engines to work? Gosh darn, you better send us the fuel. And, of course, the iridium alloy is going to be a thing for the fuel cells. And the engine, of course, needs radiation cores, right? You know it. So, in this case, we have a lot to do with the spaceship and a lot to get building. But at the same time, we have to build a planet, right? So let's now go to the planet side. Boom! Hello, core. What are you doing? This is our new cube, but it's in the wrong spot. Why? Because I had done the design. I did the design before they put in the material. And oh my goodness, what's this white stuff? Well, I don't know. It turns out they didn't label it yet, but it turns out I actually know what it is. It's methane. It's a methane deposit, and so we're going to have to move. I'm going to have to move this core over a little bit to put it over here so we can get this underway. Now, of course. How we doing that? Well, what we've done is we've loaded my 460 save, right? The big save here with all kinds of room on the planet. And I'm going to pause that here for a second. We got all kinds of room here on the planet, but these are my 460 people. But we need to help them right away. Oh yeah, we do. They got no water. And they're going to complain really, really fast about that. Let me tell you, they are not happy about not having water. It gets pretty cranky pretty quick. So we're going to give them down here a little water for them, a little something. That'll take them a few seconds to get up and running. But meanwhile, I actually got to get them a few jobs. So I might as well come on up here. This was This is an old steel, this was a steel setup that I had working anyway. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all this because I'm going to need all these jobs for science. Oh, yeah. Now, here's the funny thing, right? Let's have a look at this for a second. So, concrete. Now, I happen to know for a fact you need a lot of water for concrete. But not here. You just need sand and sulfur, right? But the steel mill wants water. Okay, so the steel mills now need water. All right, that's fine. Except that last time I checked, concrete is the much bigger use of water than steel mills are. So I do find that kind of humorous. But we'll actually be having a look at all the buildings once we get the upgrades done, and actually having a look to say, hey, you know what? What new things do we need? As you can see, it did put in a few methane pockets around here, which is kind of good because where it's put the methane pockets in, I wasn't really using that space, except for of course the one place I actually set up my initial core to practice on when it put a big splooch there. So we're gonna move the core over. We're gonna have a look at it. Let's now have a look at that science. Look at this. Pipes. Boom. You know it. We want the pipes. Then, of course, we got the methane tanks and spaceship construction, as well as groundwater extraction. So here's our water. Of course, this is all in the blue-green science, and that's also awesome because that means we don't have to deal with any yellow or red science. We can just set up blue-green science, get all of this out. So pipes, methane tanks, methane power plants, and methane fermentation. And of course, we're going to have a look at why you need that. We'll talk about that in a bit. Of course, this is spaceship construction. This is the thing that sends them supplies up to Mr. Spaceship up top, and that's pretty cool. So you would go up to your spaceship, you select the item that you're going to work on, and what it does, it tells your building here what items you're going to use this time, and then it will start collecting them. And of course, groundwater extraction is going to save us on all this little pesky ground towers, right? These things are like these water air filters are the same as these atmospheric processors. They're very inefficient. They're not good. They're just not good. We want to ditch these things as quickly as possible, I think. And it's funny they didn't put them in here. I mean, yes, okay, they did make a new water section, so I guess it's all right. But I don't know, like, anyway, it's just maybe their UI might need a little work a little later on. We'll have to see how it goes. So we've got more than enough jobs because I just killed a whole bunch of jobs. We're going to get some research done. I got to build a few research buildings. We're going to get that underway, get that research pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you know it. Hey, how's it going? Good. She takes care of water air filter. Well, that's awesome. I hope she takes care of it really good because let me tell you, these people get cranky really fast. You don't give them what they want. So with that, I'm going to bring you back. We're going to do a quick slice here, slice and dice, boom, boom. As soon as the research is all done, going to bring you back. We're going to have a look at the buildings, have a look at the build work. And then, of course, next episode, we're going to get started on our first cube and get things underway. So here's where I do the cut. Okay, so we have the research done. Everything looks good. Have found a bug, though. All my methane's gone. All the methane's gone. That's not good. That's not good. So I'm going to put a bug report in for that. We were going to need the methane right away anyway. This, of course, was where the methane patch was. I was going to talk about these buildings and everything, and it's like, no methane for you. All right, that's fine. But let's talk about some of the new stuff. So going under research, of course, we got the research all done on this stuff. I can't say that word tonight. It's been a long day, and I'm just not going to go there. But we're going to get back to it in a second. We got the groundwater extraction. We got methane plants. We got the spaceship construction. Let's have a look at all of it. So first things first, here is the water treatment plant, extractor plants. Of course, way more efficient than these silly towers, right? Way more efficient. And, of course, now with the research done, we get to play with piping. Yeah, piping. Yeah, so we get to take a pipe from this, and we run it down the street. Boom, look at that. And everybody got water instantaneously. It's awesome. So you drag the pipe out, but the nice part is that it... can I have the pipe? Yeah. So you drag the pipe out, and then it makes the connections. It's making the connections. Listen, dude, what are you doing? Like, you look like you're having a hard time here. Anyway, the good thing the delete key is still working. Okay, so do that. All right, can we do this? Awesome. Can you do this? Excellent. Okay, sure. It's, again, I think it's a little buggy. It's a little weird what it's doing. I'm going to try that pipe one more time, because it's very weird. It's acting very weird. Okay, cool. So I should now be able to draw a pipe off of that one. Yes. And then, like, it's very weird. But we'll keep working with it anyway. As you can see here, I don't know if it's because the save is semi-broken with my methane gas, but as you can see, it did do piping okay, and then it's kind of not doing it okay, but we're just going to pretend that was fine, because everything was working fine, and now suddenly I might have broken it, so maybe the save has gone a little wonky. Right, I will go with that. We have oxygen tank right beside that. Again, we could do oxygen same way we did with the water. So you run that out. As you can see, you can hook that into the houses. And methane. Now, methane, of course, if we switch over here, we can methane drill, or we can get it from these fermentation plants. And of course, that is what I had set up over here on this methane. So unfortunately, it is not there anymore. But then, of course, once you had a drill, you could then pipe it over. And as you can see, there's some pipe from some of my testing just before starting the recording software. So we could see it all. It's like, again, it's a little weird. But I'm just going to pretend everything is fine. Everything is all good. And of course, so you can put down the drills. And then, of course, we can also store that stuff in tanks. So we have methane tanks, so we could store it up in there. And at the same time, we have water tanks, so we can always store up extra water. No problem. Boom. And then, of course, you would hook that up with piping. And, of course, we have more groundwater extraction, which, of course, is what that is. The oxygen tank, the only thing about this is I don't know how it fills itself, right? It's like, I don't know how it's doing it. I don't know, like, there's no machine making oxygen, right? So we have an oxygen tank. It's not being delivered by trucks. And I thought, well, is there like an oxygen building that makes the oxygen and then pumps it into this tank? No, not really. It's just there. It's good. It's all good. So we have oxygen. So I don't quite know how that one works. This is our new spaceship construction facility. Right now, it has nothing in it. So you see, it's ready to make modules, but it doesn't have the requirements for those modules. So what we want to do, of course, is you would go into your spaceship. You would then select the thing that you're going to make. So like, let's say radiation shield, which is actually a lot. It's like 3,000 steel and 6,000 concrete. But when you do this and you hit repair, you notice this one now becomes yellow. And of course, we can now go back to the planet. And now you can see here, production has that in its module, and it's going to start requesting this, right? And it's going to come in, and it will start delivering this stuff. And then every time it makes one, boom, off to space it goes. It's awesome stuff. Let's talk about buildings. As you know already, steel requires water. Concrete doesn't. It's magical on this planet. It's perfectly fine. So that's all right. Turns out the only other place that requires gas is the high-tech workshop. Okay, sure, but there is no other buildings that require it. So if we come over here to these, so of course no real big changes here. Everything looks good right up to here. This requires 2 water now. Nanotubes require 2 water. Okay, sure, not a problem. And then, of course, you'll notice here there is no other real change for the rest of those either. Let's now talk about food, because this is where the other change is. So one thing I didn't talk about was the fermentation factory. Now, you'll notice that your meat lab and your vegetable farms create waste, right? It creates one waste, and that waste has to be taken care of. So what we do is we take care of it in the plant. So we take their 2 waste and we turn it into gas. Now, this is, of course, is where we'll probably run some like extra hydrogen plants, but I won't depend on them. So like, I'll run the plants to burn off the methane when we're not sending it up to build the rocket ship. But at the same time, I'm not going to depend on this methane power. It's just not reliable, and well, it's not anything at the moment because I got no methane on the planet all of a sudden. It's very weird. Very weird bug. But I'm going to report that, and of course, I don't know where all my methane went, but I hope it comes back. So I'm going to send a bug report in. Of course, we got the research done. We're good to go. And of course, what are we going to do on the next episode? We're gonna work on our first cube. And of course, we're going to put it in the buildings. We've got it moved over. I'm hoping my gas comes back. Gosh darn, I don't want to be moving this stuff around too much, right? Like, you know, I already moved it around once. Once is enough. So I'm Max. This is InfraSpace Cube, where we're going to repair a spaceship and we're going to make a bunch of cubes to see how much population we can get down at the same time. Should be a lot of fun. I want you to hang out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.